It is becoming increasingly clear that our enemies have no respect for Joe Biden, none, or the strength America once wielded before Joe Biden took office. Across the globe, we are seeing an increase in attacks, an escalation of violent behavior like we've never seen before, that can only be attributed to America's newfound weakness under Joe Biden. Over the weekend, Vladimir Putin attacked a Ukrainian military base just inside Ukraine, dangerously close to the Polish border. Inside Poland right now, America has thousands of troops amassed. He's truly a brazen guy, this Vladimir Putin. It's a brazen move by him on a long list of brazen moves. It amazes me that there are still Americans who are excusing away Putin's behavior as he commits one war crime after another. He has no fear about escalating his attacks, even escalating them against innocent civilians. Over the weekend, Putin bombed a home for the disabled, of all things. Who can forget the horrific video of the attack on that maternity ward and children's hospital last week? This alone amounts to war crimes. And now we have the killing of an American journalist. I want to play a soundbite from you as the photojournalist who worked alongside Brent Renaud, the journalist who is now dead following this attack.
We're going to film other refugees leaving, and we got onto a car. Somebody offered to take us to the other bridge, and we crossed a checkpoint, and they start shooting at us. So the driver turned around, and they kept shooting. It's two of us. My friend is Brent Renaud, and he's been shot and left behind.
The guy shot and left behind. So the belief is overwhelmingly that Russian troops killed that man. Joe Biden is partly responsible for Brent Renaud's murder because Russia, Vladimir Putin and his troops have zero respect or fear for Joe Biden or what America is capable of under strong leadership. He should fear that. The problem is we have weak leadership. Joe Biden should be condemning this murder, condemning the bombing of innocent people, threatening Putin with real force if it continues, even if it's a bluff. Believe me, the last thing I want is for Americans to engage with the Russian military, the last thing I want. But with bullies, the only preventative war is the threat of it. The problem is Joe Biden hasn't said anything at all. Silence from Joe Biden on an American killed by the Russians, and then there is this from Press Secretary Jen Psaki today.
In terms of specific actions, I think you have seen the president lead the world in putting in place consequences, putting in place repercussions, brutal actions that have certainly impacted Ukrainian people and now have certainly impacted some Americans. But in terms of next steps or what the next consequence would be, I don't have anything to preview for you at this point in time.
Nothing to preview. This from the lady with the red hair. Extra red, by the way, isn't it? They need to say and do something, but all we get is lip service from this administration. Joe Biden needs to put the hammer down because his clear ineptitude, his feebleness, his emboldening of our enemies around the globe, Iran, for instance, on the verge of getting a nuclear deal from the United States that will give them everything they want and more. Well, Iran just lobbed missiles into Erbil, Iraq, barely missing our United States consulate there. The sheer fact that Iran's so-called elite forces, as they call them, are responsible for an attack so bold, they claimed responsibility for it, to come so close to taking out an American diplomatic compound is proof again that Joe Biden and his team need to be on the world stage, declaring if Iran pulls a stunt like that again, its government facilities, its nuclear facilities, its military facilities will be reduced to rubble. Instead, we get this from Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman.
We do not believe that the consulate was actually the target of this missile attack. We are very glad that our facilities are secure.
It doesn't matter if it's a target or not. It came too close. See, Joe Biden needs to start threatening Iran with total annihilation. Literally, threaten them with total annihilation. Try me, as President Trump would warn. And instead of pulling out of the disastrous nuclear deal after Iran's stunt this weekend, a deal that will give them billions to fund terrorism against Americans, billions to build a nuclear warhead, Team Biden doesn't do any of that. they come out with this nonsense.
So the nuclear deal is not dead?
This is not the first time Iran has, as things stand right now, the various negotiators are back home in their capitals, and we will have to see what happens in the days ahead with respect to the diplomacy around the nuclear deal.
Have to see what happens. How about you say it's completely off the table until Iran proves that it can behave? No. See, they want more diplomacy. You see what we get? The nuclear deal is not dead. We are still banking on diplomacy, they say. This is bad enough on its own, but following an attack so close to American interests, this deal should be dead, canceled, scuttled, whatever you want to call it. Again, our enemies now own us because every lack of reaction from Joe Biden seems to prove he is the enemy too, a clear and present danger to our own national security.